Hello everyone, my name is Sharif Yaqub. I am an endocrinologist, a diabetes specialist, and I'm making this presentation particularly for people who have diabetes, have borderline diabetes, metabolic syndrome, insulin resistance, or want to lose weight, and they have questions about the nutrition. There's a lot of confusion online, so I'm giving a detailed explanation of what diet is needed for diabetes here. Let's begin. To make it simple, I want you to remember one sentence. To get good diabetes nutrition control, you need to cut out the sugar, cut back the starch, and eat more vegetables and protein. So let's unpack this a little bit. On the left upper hand corner of the screen, you will notice some sugary treats and desserts, but also sweetened drinks. And the key to diabetes control is to cut out the artificial sugars from your diet. Not cut back, because even in small amounts, those can raise the blood sugar significantly. Now, the second part to this sentence is on the left lower part of your screen, which is the starch. Now, when it comes to starch, we don't eliminate it completely, but we need to cut back the amount, and we need to basically change the way that we eat starch, and I'll talk more about this in coming slides. But the best thing for diabetes and for nutrition in general is eating more vegetables. That's on the upper right hand corner of your screen, and I will talk more about how we can make that tasty and nice to eat, and how we can avoid the kind of boredom that comes from sometimes eating the same things over and over again. And lastly, but not least, at the lower right hand corner of your screen, you will see the picture of protein, and we need to increase the protein content, especially of lean proteins, and we're going to talk about this as well. Now, before we proceed, I know a lot of you will say, well, does that mean I cannot have a dessert ever again? No, it doesn't mean that, and we will talk about that in later in the talk, how we can enjoy occasional treats and desserts without raising the blood sugar and with keeping it under control. The basics of meal planning will be what we call the plate method. The plate method rests on the fact that you need to eat more of the non-starchy vegetables, and you see them here taking over half of the plate. And you need to limit the amount of starches that are eaten to 1/4 of the plate, as you can see on the left lower part of the screen. And you need to eat lean protein, which is on the left upper quarter of that plate that you see. Obviously, the portion control is important, but it takes a different flavor when we talk about the non-starchy vegetables versus when we talk about the grain foods and starchy vegetables that we call collectively the starches. We'll talk about that when we break them down and talk about each one of them specifically. You can see here on the list of non-starchy vegetables that it has a lot of vegetables that you could use, whether it be in a cooked manner, in a cooked plate, or in a salad, fresh, or even eat them in snacks. Those are healthy, fill you up. They have a lot of fiber, which tends to give you the sensation of fullness. They also have water, which helps you to feel and stay full. And they have a lot of vitamins that can help improve your metabolism and improve your health in general. Now, a lot of these vegetables can be found at inexpensive or cheap prices, and that's an additional benefit, is that it provides you with a lot of fullness, but at the same time it is not expensive. You can find them in stores as packed vegetables. You can grow your own if you can. You can also buy frozen vegetables, although that kind of decreases the amount of vitamins and nutrients that you can find in fresh vegetables. But all of these are good ways of eating and enjoying your vegetables. We'll talk more about how you can make them tasty in the next few slides. So here you have on the left a salad plate and on the right cooked vegetables. The way to make those vegetables tasty so that you can enjoy more of them is to add dressings that are healthier dressings, olive oil and vinegar or balsamic vinaigrette dressing in the case of the salad, or light Italian dressing, Greek dressing, or on the right side you will see the cooked vegetables. You can saute them with some butter. You can add spices, you can add onions, you can add sauces to make them more tasty and palatable. There is a lot of non-starchy vegetables that can be used, and some of them, if you haven't tried, can even give you the taste of starch. So cabbage or turnips, they can actually, when cooked, they can give you the taste of almost like as if you were eating potatoes, or rice sometimes, and it can be used and filling instead of eating an actual starch. So let your imagination run wild with it and explore some of the recipe options for using vegetables, but it's definitely underutilized, and we need to make use of them because, as I said, this is the best thing for diabetes and for nutrition in general. Here is an example of a tasty salad with, as you can see, cucumbers, green peppers, tomatoes, onions, olives, and some feta cheese with Greek dressing. It's a very tasty salad that you can enjoy. It's good for you. It's filling. You can also put some avocado in it. It's very healthy for you and very filling and satisfying as well. And here is an example of cooked vegetables, and you can see Brussels sprouts, onions, and turnips, a lot of good food that can have a balsamic glaze or some other sauces. Spices are okay to add and to give the food tasty food. You can have them oven roasted, or you can, as I said before, you can saute the vegetables. Multiple ways to cook them and enjoy them. Here is a third example. You can have like an Asian stir fry with multiple peppers of different colors, onions and broccoli. You can have, again, a teriyaki sauce or some balsamic vinaigrette dressing or some other dressing that makes you enjoy the vegetables. I keep repeating this point because it's so important to get more vegetables in your diet, and you're bound to find something in the vegetable list that you enjoy eating and that you can use as filling. By the way, if you finish the meal and you find that you're still hungry, it is perfectly okay to get seconds from the vegetables because they have very low carb and calorie content, and so they are great as fillers, and you can enjoy them without the guilt of counting the portions. You can also use them as snacks, and we'll talk about snacks later in later slides, but use them to the best of your ability. So I want to hear from you. What are your favorite vegetables? What problems do you find with eating and preparing vegetables? And what do you think would be the best way to make sure you get more vegetables in your diet? Let me know in the comment section below. On the next time, we're going to talk about starches and some of the big mistakes that people sometimes make while eating starches and thinking that they are doing something healthy, but in fact, it's something that causes the blood sugar to rise high. So stay tuned for the next presentation.